Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. I'm Girl Nettles, as you guys probably already know, and welcome to the Great Westerosi Debates. So first, let me introduce my two guests, and then I'll get into the rules, and we'll get right into it because I know you guys came to see a fight. All right. First, we have our Archmaester Old New Dude. So he's going to be the boss and the judge. And I actually asked him to be the judge because he actually is a vet. He actually knows what it feels like to be a soldier, to have your life on the line. So I thought that he'd be the perfect person to judge Robert versus the Mountain. So please introduce yourself.
I thank you for that introduction. I'll go ahead and tell you, most of the military was handing out pillows to give people their barracks room, but I do appreciate that.
But the
I am
training,
Old New Dude. Yeah, there was a lot of training and a lot of orders for sure. But I'm Old New Dude. I started my channel about 3 years ago. I have 67 followers, and only about 10 of them will watch the channel. I'm very low tech, but I love talking about A Song of Ice and Fire. It is without a doubt. If I'm not talking to anybody, I'm thinking about A Song of Ice and Fire. So if you want to check it out, it's very low tech. We're very responding to people that are watching the live streams. But other than that, I mean, it's low tech. You'll get what you get.
yeah, you're also really smart, and you come up with theories like out of nowhere and make really great connections. So you forgot to say that.
Yeah, it's true. I think outside the box like crazy. So
Awesome.
All right, Jeremy.
Thanks. Well, I first just want to start off by saying thank you to Old New Dude for your service. That is very awesome and commendable, man. I have a huge respect for all veterans. Both of my grandparents served as well, so huge respect to you for that. And thank you to Girl Nettles for inviting me here. This is awesome. I've never done something like this before, so I'll probably be making a fool of myself the whole time, but it's going to be fun. Yeah, my name is Jeremy. I have a Song of Ice and Fire channel as well. I started uploading content about 5 months ago or so, and it's been a blast. And much like the Old New Dude and Girl Nettles, this is my favorite series of all time. I love A Song of Ice and Fire, Fire and Blood, anything that has to do with Song of Ice and Fire, anything George R. Martin, really. And it's just super grateful to be here talking with you guys. And I also go live every Sunday night and would love to have anyone to come over and hang out. I'd love to have both of you on sometime. And just always love talking up to talk A Song of Ice and Fire, and glad to be here.
Whoop, whoop. All right. So I want to shout out some of the people in the chat. We have the doctor. What's up? Let's go. Squisher King, Lizzie Ives, Sean Berkeley. Woo! Hope hello. Got a lot of great people in here. Craig says Wakanda forever. I just saw that. Go see it, guys. But yeah, Crazy Mad. Hey, I think you're new.
That's one of my guys. What's up, Crazy?
Welcome. And then, of course, we have the OG Carl Karsnark in the chat. He is your old gods in the chat, so listen to him. Obviously, he's a mod, and he'll kick you out if he doesn't like it. Let me show off my weapons. Okay.
Oh, so cool.
Hold on. Are you scared?
Oh, shit.
There you go.
Look at that.
I'll do it one more time for just in case you missed it. It was so fast, lightning speed.
It is. It's super quick. That's awesome. That is so awesome.
All right.
That's okay. Why you win all the debates and all the arguments right there.
Yeah. Nobody wants to face that. Yep.
Of course. Well, all right. Let's get serious. Let's get serious, guys. Right. We're about to fight. I'm not gonna be nice to Jeremy. You guys know what I do. I just want to go over the rules of the debate. So basically, today we have 20 questions. So Old New Dude, dude for short, he's going to be the Archmaester, so he'll be asking the questions. He'll ask me a question. I'll have 1 minute to answer. Jeremy also has a minute to answer. If we choose, we could ask for a rebuttal, and then we'll also have a minute for that rebuttal. and then Old New Dude will decide which of us gets the point. After we finish all of the questions, he'll tally up the points, and then we'll decide once and for all who is the better man, Bobby B or the Mountain.
Or we'll decide how bad Nettles is going to smoke me in the end.
Yeah, a lot of people think, oh, Robert Baratheon's going to win. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. No, this is, yeah.
We will see. All right. So, any questions? Any questions from the chat? Chat, how about you? Do you want to pick who goes first, Bobby B or the Mountain? Which of us do you want to see go first?
Fight, Carl.
Or at least who's the least shitty, Lizzie? So Lizzie, we're gonna stretch our imagination. Oh, here's something else I forgot to say about the rules. We can use anything to make our point. So we can use the books, we could use the show, we could use fan theories. As long as it makes sense, it's open. So we're gonna be stretching our imaginations. So yeah. Lizzie says the Mountain. Everyone's saying the Mountain. Oh, Bobby, 2 for Bobby B. 3 for Bobby B. 2 for the Mountain.
Okay. That's what I see.
Okay, I guess that's you, Jeremy. You're going first.
All right, Jeremy. Question number 1. Which man better inspires loyalty among his followers?
All right, now we all know Robert Baratheon. At least we all know the Robert Baratheon we meet at the beginning of A Song of Ice and Fire. But this is a Robert who has been king for 17 years at this point. He's put on a little bit of weight. He's let himself go a little bit. But the Robert of his youth, the Robert's Rebellion Robert, is the Robert that I'm thinking about here. And this is someone I would love to follow into battle. I mean, Ned describes him as, I believe, 6.5 feet tall. He's strong, muscular, described as a maiden's fantasy. And even more so, he fights right alongside with his men. And there's nothing that inspires more loyalty than your leader fighting right alongside you in the trenches. He's one of the best fighters that the Seven Kingdoms have ever seen when he was in his prime. One of the strongest men, probably almost close to as strong as the Mountain, I would say, with his big warhammer. And another thing, he also has a little bit of mercy to him as well. He is known to have spared countless enemies in battle for kneeling to him after the rebellion. So for all those reasons, I think Robert inspires a ton of loyalty.
Perfect. 1 minute exactly. The chat saying loyalty for Robert. Oh, even girl Nettles.
Loyalty, Rihanna.
There you go.
Oh, the Rihanna song, yeah.
It's got loyalty.
Yeah.
If you could tell by the hat, I didn't know. All right, over to you, Nettles. Same question. Which man better inspires loyalty among his followers?
And I can start now? Okay.
Yes.
So the Mountain is way better at inspiring loyalty because he uses 2 things, fear and he uses competence. So fear is obvious. Obviously, we know that you're just scared of the Mountain, so you're going to do what he says. And the other is competence. The Mountain is the best at his job. He's great at what he does. When you see him in front of you at the field, you have 100% trust in him, and you know he's not going to mess up, and you know he's going to do exactly what he says he's going to do, and then some. So with fear and competence, that drives them. The other thing is, what about Robert? Okay. Lyanna didn't even meet. She barely dated him, and she couldn't be loyal to him. She ran to get to Rhaegar, and then when Robert's rebellion happened, Robert's own his own bannermen, some of them sided with the Mad King over Robert. He does not inspire loyalty. Cersei, Varys, anybody who's around Robert for a while, they don't stay loyal.
Any rebuttal, Jeremy?
Quick rebuttal, yes. I think at the end of the day, there's a difference between inspiring fear and loyalty. I think fear will only get you so far in terms of having your soldiers loyal to you before they end up sticking a knife in your back. But having hope, inspiring people through strength and will and deeds, that's the kind of loyalty that I think is a little more lasting.
The chat seems to agree with you there, Jeremy. Unfortunately,
I have a rebuttal.
okay.
Yes. Yes. So the question is effectiveness. Like, which man better inspires loyalty? Like, sure, hope and love and all that is great in the books, but we're talking about effectiveness. And like I just named, Lyanna, the Greyjoy Rebellion, Cersei, Varys, these people looked at Robert and did not see that he was someone worth being loyal to. So tell me, who betrayed the mountain? So I just named all those people that betrayed Robert, that didn't find him worthy, to be loyal to. Tell me, how many people betrayed the mountain? Can you think of any? I'll wait.
Okay, your rebuttal is awesome.
I'll wait.
No, I can't name one.
Okay, no one ever betrayed the mountain. All right, thanks. So loyalty.
That's that Tywin fear or love, and you. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, you had it lost until that last rebuttal, and seeing as how I can't name nobody, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the point.
Oh yeah.
Fair.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
You're
Westerosi, chill.
feisty.
The
I
hound
swear, even the chat says you're feisty. Anybody? Yeah. All right. Next question. You want to do it? The winner of the previous question goes first the second time.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's
Nettles. This is question number 2. Which is the better family man? And go.
When you think of family, you think of the mountain. A lot of men nowadays are afraid of marriage. We live in an age of ghosting and Tinder, and like nothing is permanent. And society is also not forcing us to get married anymore. So people push it off or never get married. But a man like Gregor is like a diamond in the rough because he got married 3 times. He's not afraid of getting on a knee and proposing to a girl. He's not afraid of commitment. This is the kind of man who makes a good family man. And everyone calls Gregor a kinslayer. Nobody can prove it, because if they could prove it, he would be in jail right now. They can't prove it. And how come he let the hound live all this time? He could have killed the hound, and he never did. So he loves his brother. Him not killing him, he loves his brother, and that's it for now. That's it for
now. All right, that's a minute. The chat keeps talking about the hound. Don't know where we're going to go with that one. All right, Jeremy, same question. Which man is the better family man?
Okay. All right. I think Robert is the better family man for a numerous of reasons. Obviously, I mean, this guy started an entire rebellion for the woman that he loved when he found out she was in peril. And he was when he fathered his first bastard, Maya Stone, he was actually a real father to her, bringing her gifts, visited her often. And he's got 2 other brothers that he gifted awesome castles to and great lordships, gave them seats on the small council. Really screams that he cares about his family. And just to speak on the mountain, I mean, when I think of family men, I'm sorry, but the mountain is not what comes to the mind. I mean, this guy completely disfigured his own brother for simply playing with one of his toys. I mean, if that doesn't scream that you don't care about your family, I don't know what is. Plus, I know there's only rumors, but it's one of those things that I think everybody knows that they just can't prove. Gregor definitely killed his parents. He definitely killed 3 of his wives. And that just doesn't scream family to me.
Perfect.
I have a rebuttal. Of course I have a rebuttal.
All right. And go.
First of all, that toy incident, let me tell you something, okay? When Gregor looked at that toy represents being a baby in a medieval world. You guys know how tough it was. You could die any day in the medieval times. Mm-hmm. And so when he saw his brother that he was trying to train and show him that, hey, life is tough, his brother playing with that toy, it angered him because he knew that Sandor would have to toughen up. And there is a theory that Gregor saw in the flames that his brother would kill him. So it was self-defense. That is why he got so angry and pushed the hound into the fire. Do you remember what the hound said to the mountain in the show? In the showdown, he said, this is not how you die. You know who's coming for you. And he's talking about himself. So he's telling that's proof. He's telling his brother that you know I'm the one who's going to kill you. You've always known. He said, you've always known I'm the one that's going to kill you.
You got a rebuttal there, Jeremy?
Only rebuttal is, I mean, if seeing his brother playing with his own toy is enough to completely disfigure him and shove him into the fire, maybe if it angered him, I can understand. Give him a little bit of a beating or something, but to completely disfigure him for life, I don't know. It doesn't scream like doesn't scream a loving brother to me.
I got one question. This is for both of y'all. If the mountain had not pushed the hound's face into that fire, would the hound be the hound that we all love?
He would not.
Probably not. No.
It was prophecy. He looked in the fire and he saw what the hound was going to do to him. And who sent him the vision in the fire? A person who wanted to make sure that the hound would be this hardened person who would fight in the long night. If he was not pushed in the fire, the hound would be a pussy. And we don't need that. We need him to be the hound. We need him to have that hard outlook on the world. So yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about that tinfoil? This is my question.
Yeah.
That the mountain saw the vision and that's why he did it.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's certainly interesting. I tend to think that I don't think anyone is sending Gregor Clegane of all people visions. He just doesn't seem like the worthy type to receive any kind of vision from the R'hllor or anyone.
No, but he gets one vision, and it's only because Hound is the one that's important. Like he has to.
Maybe
the same way. Maybe. Like imagine if somebody made Jaime push Bran out of the window so that Bran can become the three-eyed raven. Let's pretend someone made,
But the Hound, Gregor doing this to the Hound, how does that make him a good family man?
Oh, because it saves the world. The long night.
I think it's a bit of a stretch. But okay.
I have one. Go ahead.
I just want to say this rebuttal. This won't count. I just want to say whose family is like still alive, because aren't both of his brothers dead? So
they are.
At least Gregor has a family, but
on your theory
Gregor
about
also
the
killed
vision
plenty
in
of
the
his
flames,
family allegedly.
Yeah.
On your theory about the vision in the flames, could the visions be the reason he has all those giant migraine headaches?
The headaches. Yeah. Could be.
Okay.
That's all.
I still don't see how that makes him a family
man. This is tough. I'll go ahead and tell you.
Chill says his 27 bastards aren't dead. So you think that makes him a family man?
He doesn't know any of them except for Edric and Maya.
Yeah.
And Carl says that I think Nettles wants to submit the mountain, if y'all know what I'm saying. So you might want to make a family with the mountain on this one. I'm gonna go with Jeremy on this one. Just
trash.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Trash. You guys are trash. Look at Robert's family. The cuckold that he is. Listen. Look at his cuckold family. His blonde children. Okay.
I think I just got in trouble. I don't know. We're going to quickly go on to the next question. And Jeremy, since you won the last one, which man is smarter? And go.
Okay, which man is smarter? Now, when it comes to Robert's smarts, I mean, not just anyone can organize an entire rebellion against one of the most powerful dynasties the world has ever seen. And not only that, do it extremely well and extremely effectively. But on top of that, when I think of the mountain, it's not someone that I think of smarts. I mean, I think of more of brute strength. If you point him at his target, he's going to do his job. But in terms of thinking outside the box, thinking on the battlefield, being able to adapt to strategy, Robert's got the mountain beat tenfold. But that's just that's about my argument. Oh, and of course, Robert was smart enough to name John Arryn Hand of the King when that's another thing about Robert. He knows when to delegate his responsibilities. The Mountain doesn't seem like he would have that finesse.
Okay. Nettles, same question. Which man is smarter? And go.
So first, let's look at the definition of intellect. It's the ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skills. So actually, you were saying that the Mountain doesn't have the ability to. Well, you said something, but that the Mountain, whatever. Let me just say my points before I rebuttal you. So a lot of times, people like polarize physical prowess with mental prowess, as if like you can't be a ballet dancer and be smart, you can't be like a UFC fighter and be smart. They always think that it's different, but physical prowess is a type of intelligence. When you're fighting, you're quickly computing physics, you're computing space and time, how fast his hand is slashing and how fast your hand can go through. It's happening so fast in your mind, but there's still equations, okay? So we know that Gregor is the best at fighting. So his physical prowess, his intellect in that field is unmatched.
Rebuttal, Jeremy?
Yes, just one quick rebuttal, something that I forgot about and just until recently, but I believe that the Mountain can't even read, and Robert can, so he's got him beat there.
Nettles?
My rebuttal to that is like intellect is not measured in whether you can read or not. There are plenty of stonemasons. There's plenty of types of people who have lived in this world who never read a book and who were able to change the world and who were, like I said, smart in other ways. Okay.
Very true.
I'm probably. Go ahead.
And since we're measuring like not if they're smart at all, we're measuring the amount of smartness, the amount of physical prowess that the Mountain has, and knowing who to ally with, Tywin, is greater than Robert's.
Am I allowed to pull something out of the Booker show to make a decision on this other than what y'all say here?
Only if you really have to. It's frowned upon.
Okay, I won't do it then.
No, go ahead.
I will never get asked to judge again. I promise you.
Let's try it. Let's try it. It might be good. Go ahead, lay it on us.
Well, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, even Tywin says that Armory Lock and the Mountain are blunt instruments. I can't give you this one, Nettles. I'm so sorry.
You're so rude to me. I hate you.
I'll never get asked again to do this. I know, but I'm going to have to give that one to Jeremy.
I'm gonna stick
still a long debate. Yeah, Nettles got plenty of time to wipe the floor with me. Don't worry, you're safe.
Yeah. There's only 3 questions. All right.
Yeah.
Jeremy, we have. Hold on a second. Let me set my timer back up. Question number 4: which man has the better emotional intelligence? And go.
Okay. In terms of emotional intelligence, well, in terms of having to mature at a young age, Robert, for example, he was at a very young age when he saw his own parents die right off the coast of Shipbreaker Bay, right in front of him as he's waiting to greet them on the shore. Something like that is going to make you mature at a really young age. He had to become Lord way earlier than he thought he would have to, maturing in a lot of ways. He studied under the tutelage of John Arryn, which he learned a ton from in terms of strategy, tacticians, and everything that you could think of. And yeah, he's just a little bit more emotional. When I think of emotional intelligence, it's obviously it doesn't scream Robert, but at least he's not a blunt instrument like the Mountain is.
Wah, wah,
wah. I'm scared. Same question.
I'm scared.
Out your mouth.
Same question, Nettles. Which man has a better emotional intelligence? And go.
So people with high emotional intelligence usually speak very little. I call to mind the strong silent type. They're able to communicate like through looks and nods, and they're able to communicate to you and you can communicate to them. And that's exactly how the mountain is. Some people like Tyrion are gifted with words, but the mountain is gifted with emotional intelligence. Now, by definition, emotional intelligence is not just being able to regulate your own emotions, like controlling your sadness or your fear. It's also like the part that everyone forgets is you need to be able to recognize and influence the emotions of people around you. That's another part of that definition. And Gregor is batting 100 for 100 when it comes to influencing the emotions of others. I mean, you could go from having a great day and then Gregor walks into the room and he makes you piss your pants. So that is emotional intelligence because he knows exactly how to look at you, the tenor or the baritone to have in his voice to make you scared. That's all things you had to learn through emotional intelligence. And he has that in lock better than Robert.
Rebuttal, Jeremy?
No, nope, no rebuttal.
No rebuttal? The final word, Nettles?
I won.
Actually, I am going to give this one to you just for the simple fact that I have nothing to base the mountain's emotional intelligence on, and you have plenty to base the Robert his inability to I mean, his emotional intelligence is very, very lacking. So him sucking is helping you win that one. All right, and as the winner, you get the next question. Question 5. Which man is the better husband? And go.
This one is so easy for me. I judge a man by how much his wife complains, and I have not heard a peep from any of his wives. Cersei will not stop complaining about how horrible of a husband Robert is. She'll tell Catelyn, a person she's met like the first day, she'll tell her handmaidens, she definitely tells Jamie. Every conversation she has with Jamie, she has to, oh, remember that time Robert was mean to me? Remember that? Like, so we know when someone is a bad husband. But the mountain, no. You hear about the mountain's temper, a little bit of temper. You might hear about he doesn't like people snoring and things like that. But you never hear about him forgetting an anniversary. You never hear about him flirting with other women or anything like that. So since we don't have the proof and we don't have the complaints for his wife, ergo, he's a better husband than Robert. Thank you.
Oh, well. Jeremy, same question. Which man is the better husband? And go.
Okay, when it comes to being the better husband, neither of these guys probably hit the top of the list, but at least Robert isn't rumored to have killed multiple of his wives. Yes, we haven't heard about any complaints about any of Gregor's wives, but there's a reason for that. They're not around to complain. And as far as Robert goes in terms of maybe satisfying his wife, I imagine that he's much more adept in the bedroom than someone like the Mountain is, who really only kind of rapes and kills. Whereas Robert has been with countless women. I'm sure he knows how to satisfy a woman much better than the Mountain does. And yeah, that's my rebuttal.
I have a rebuttal.
Awesome.
Go for it.
So you just said that, Robert sleeps with a lot of women and that makes him good in bed and that makes him a good husband?
No, I think it makes him better than the Mountain in bed.
Better than the Mountain, but not
good, though.
Yes, all of those qualities still have Cersei complaining. And before Cersei complained, Lyanna complained. So those qualities of hopping in beds, that's what Lyanna was scared of. So yeah. I don't see your point there, Jeremy. I just don't see it.
Well, on the other hand, what doesn't Cersei complain about?
I don't know. I'm just staying on topic, and she's complaining about Robert.
Jeremy, you got anything to say on this?
No, that was it. This was probably one of the tougher ones for these two characters.
Yeah, we did the practice tougher one. We're coming up. We got a couple more questions before we hit that one. Again, it's the not to sound like I'm brown nosing Nettles, but the lack of information. Would you shut up? There you go. The lack of information that we can draw off of the Mountain. We don't know him how he was sleeping around, all that kind of stuff. We know of a couple women, but with the King Robert just nonstop. If there's a hole in the ground, he's going to stick it. And the Cersei complaining. I'm going to go ahead and give this one to Nettles. Go ahead, dance. The lack of information on the people on him is helping you out greatly, and it's helping you out a whole lot more than I thought it would.
I'll get what I get.
It really is. Yeah, lack of information is better than no information that you can't really use. So
yeah, I got to try to get it off my nose a little bit. There, Nettles. This is question 6, Nettles. Which man is better at 1-to-1 combat?
Start.
And go.
Okay, so everyone likes to talk about the Battle of the Trident. Did you guys know that Rhaegar almost beat Bobby B? They fought for an hour. Can anyone do it? Can anyone do anything for an hour? Like, so fighting for an hour. So that means it was very close. Okay. So, and who was Rhaegar? An anorexic incest heart baby. And he came that close to beating y'all's king, y'all's champion. I'm just gonna let you guys think about that. But on to 1-to-1 combat. So the mountain has an 8-foot reach. So one of the most important factors of fighting is being able to put your enemy in your control. So if he has an 8-foot wingspan, he could grab you easily and put you in his control. And that's how he gets the upper hand. The other thing is his size and mass gives him more power behind every punch and kick than Robert can. And fighting is 50% mental. An opponent just looking at the mountain pisses his pants.
nice.
All right, Jeremy, same question. Which man is better at 1-to-1 combat? And go.
Alrighty. When it comes to one-on-one combat, I think there's little competition here. Robert, he's no small man himself. Yes, the mountain is huge, but Robert is also pretty big himself, standing at close to 7 feet tall himself, big, strong, muscular. And in terms of endurance, you talk about him and Rhaegar fighting for about an hour. Robert, that's an hour of Robert swinging that incredibly heavy warhammer and still managing to beat Rhaegar, who was no slouch himself, mind you. He was also a pretty good fighter himself. And not to mention all of the other countless feats that Robert has done in the field, winning 3 battles in a single day, defeating countless people in single combat. Yeah, when it comes to Robert, and nearly killing John Connington while he was wounded, mind you, at the Stony Sept. When it comes to that, right before he killed 6 other men, mind you. And not to mention, he completely crushed the Targaryen dynasty when he landed that fatal blow to Rhaegar's chest.
I do have a rebuttal. Okay. I do have a rebuttal, but before I do that, Jennifer Slattery, no, Jackie C in the chat, she says the mountain is 8 feet tall, not his arms. So I actually did research on this, and by research I mean my husband. But so in the UFC, when they this is a competition, so I thought this would be a fair assessment to go by their rubric. In the UFC, they measure your reach from like point to point of your arm, and when you do that, it's your height. And I measured myself, like I measured from point to point, and it's my height. And if you think about it, if your hand is on this wall and then you're reaching, that would be that, like, I guess wingspan, but it's
wingspan,
called,
yeah.
but it's called reach in the UFC metric.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, and I have heard of that too. Just for the quick rebuttal, when it comes to reach and wingspan, not everybody's wingspan is the same as their height. That's a myth. I'm actually a former fighter myself. That's a huge myth. Most people are actually. Most
like,
people
how tall are you, and how?
Oh,
like,
me, I'm sure. I was a welterweight. I'm 5'10".
But then, and what was your reach? Like, I just want to see like the difference in. Like,
I don't even know what my reach was. I have a short reach. It was probably only around 60 inches, maybe less.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm 5 foot tall, and I measured it, and it was like 59 and like a half, so like almost, but like, but
Mhm. Like it all. I mean, some people have longer arms than others. Basically, is what it comes down to.
would you say on average, or the majority of people have it, have like their reach is the same as their height or similar?
Yeah, I guess you could maybe say on average it would be close to your height. Yeah. So yeah, you could go with that. Absolutely, for sure.
But we can for sure say that the mountain has
The
a
mountain
longer
has
reach
more reach
than
than
the
Robert. That
robber.
is one thing we could
Oh, I'd
definitely
love to
say.
hear
Yeah.
it.
But
It's so nice
reach
when
is
y'all agree.
no, no, yeah. Robert definitely has a little bit less of a reach than the mountain, especially with that great sword. But reach is far from the only factor when it comes to winning a fight. Look at what Oberyn did when he fought the mountain. We saw a clear blueprint. It is
Are
really
you
easy to
rebuttaling right
defeat the
now without a
mountain.
timer?
Oh, all right. If you're
I thought the
rebutting,
timer
then
was going. Sorry.
I'm like, what's going? I'm like, whoa!
Yeah,
I
we
was
saw with
answering a
Oberyn.
chat, and now we're back in the ring. Okay, I'm ready,
All
Jeremy.
right,
I'm ready.
gotcha. Yeah, we saw what Oberyn did against the mountain, and it's a mountain. There's a clear blueprint. Tire the guy out till he can't swing that big great sword of him anymore, and then go in for the kill. And that's something I think Robert would be easily adept to. And Robert is someone who has never lost a fight one-on-one, ever.
Okay, so is that it?
Yep, that's it.
So my rebuttal to that is, some people will say that maybe the mountain won that fight because Tyrion was sentenced to death. Like Oberyn was killed, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So, so I don't know what you mean, but also fighting is only part of Robert's life, but fighting is all of Gregor's life. Like Robert had other interests, he had loves, he had hates, he liked to sail, he had a hawk, he had friends, and but he also fought. But Gregor didn't have the hawk or the love. All he had was fighting, so he could focus 100% of his mind, his soul, all of his energy on fighting because it's all that he had, and that is what makes him a as well as everything else I said, a better one-on-one fighter than Robert. And
Are we good then? Oop. Is that everything?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we only get one rebuttal each, even though it's
Okay. Yeah. He definitely went over the 1 minute on that one. Sorry about that. I'll get it better next time.
No, it's okay. It was Jeremy's fault because he actually just
Yeah, it was my
started
fault. Yeah.
when we were answering
well,
the question
Yeah.
from the chat.
It was my party foul.
His comment was the same one that what is it? The who was it that asked it? Never mind. But it was the same thing about Robert never losing and then Oberon beating the mountain. But you did point out the mountain still won that fight, killing Oberon. You have Jaime Lannister talking about 3 other fighters in Westeros that he would have a problem with. And you got the Hound, you got the Mountain, and was it Prince Oberon or was it
I think it was the
Barristan Selmy? Oh, Great John. That's it. Thank you, Jeremy. And what those all 3 have in common is their size. Starting with the Hound, then going to the Great John. That's twice the width of Hodor, and then you get to the Mountain, who's even bigger than him. I'm giving this one to the Mountain. Sorry.
1-to-1 combat.
I'm getting asked back to do this, so I mean, sorry. Next question, Nettles. Which man is the better leader in the field? And go.
So going into battle behind the Mountain is like going into battle behind Achilles, Hercules, these like famous names, because like I said, like fighting is 50% mental. So when you're a soldier and you're kind of scared and you look up, you see the mountain, you're like, oh, no one is going to break through him to get to me. And you're thinking, oh, we're definitely going to win, because not only is it the mountain, but he has the mountain's men. You remember the tickler, Raph the Sweetling. So it's him who's this force, and then he has this wall behind him. So even though you're shaking, you're going to roar some of that energy oozing from the mountain is going to come on you, and you're going to roar and go into battle. And so while the mountain is inspiring his men behind him, in front of him, his ugly ass face, because we know the mountain's ugly. That's one thing I can't argue. He ugly. The mountain's ugly ass face and his demeanor is scaring his opponent. His opponent is looking at the mountain and his team, and they're getting into their heads. They're going to second guess themselves, and they're going to falter.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Jeremy, same question. Which man is the better leader in the field? And go.
Now, when it comes to leader in the field, I think, Robert has these qualities in abundance. He inspires his men in his deeds alone. He fights alongside of his men. And much like Nettles pointed out with the mountain, I think it's even more so with Robert. You see Robert, he's described as this great horned god by some of his men. And fighting behind someone like that is definitely going to inspire you and make you fight a lot harder. And when it comes to fighting behind the mountain, I don't know. I think I would be a little too scared to fail, knowing that he might kill me if I screw up or do something that he doesn't like, or accidentally spill some wine on him or something. With Robert, I feel like the loyalty that he is going to inspire is going to go a lot further than the fear that the mountain inspires.
Wah, wah, wah. I just want to say something. Before we go on, I just want to just keep up with the chat, because if I don't, the comments are going to see me. Jackie C says the mountain never leads any battles. He just does what Tywin says. It is Tywin that is the good battle commander, not the mountain. But this is what if, Jackie. What if he led the battles? Okay.
You asked the same question I was getting ready to ask. I had Jackie C on my phone ready to go for you.
And then other people are saying Robert hid in a bell for like a month. Damn.
Well, he was injured alone, and he ended up coming out and almost killing John Connington while injured. So there's that.
And Carl Karsnark says the mountain killing losers is just his way of encouraging excellence.
That's good.
Is that it on the comment?
I don't have a rebuttal, Jeremy.
Okay.
I said what I said.
Anything to add there, Jeremy?
No. Nope.
All right. Well, I mean, as much as I'd like to get asked back to do this, I'm going to have to give it to Robert. Yeah, I don't see the mountain leading anybody, leading the entire army type thing. I mean, it's not there. So, Jeremy, you won that one.
Rude.
I know. We got to make it look good. Next question,
you throw me one every once in a while.
Yeah, I know. If not, then nobody will pay attention and they'll kill me in the comments. All right, number 8. This is the one we did at practice. Which man is better in the bedroom? And hold on, let me make sure you get your full 1 minute on this.
Wait, who's first?
Jeremy is.
Oh, all right.
Go for it.
Okay, which man is better in the bedroom? Okay, now when it comes to being in the bedroom, obviously I said this earlier, but Robert has been with countless women. I'm sure he knows how to please a woman a little bit better than someone like Gregor does. And when it comes to being in the bedroom, I don't know if Gregor has ever been with anyone consensually. All he does is he's known for raping a lot of women, and that just doesn't scream someone who, if he could pleasure women on his own, why is he going around raping all these women? And for that reason alone, I think Robert is far superior when it comes to being in the bedroom.
That's all you need?
That's all I can think of on this one. This one was tough.
Okay. Nettles, same question. Which man is better in the bedroom? And go.
So very seldom do I hear women complain about big dicks. I do hear them complain about small dicks, it's just rare. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but it's just rare. So ergo, that means the argument is women prefer big dicks, if I will. And the mountain is 8 feet tall. And I'm not saying that every tall man has a big dick, but I'm just saying he has gigantism, okay? And I'm saying even if it's just going off his proportions, not saying it's dynamic, but just going off his proportions, that thing we're looking at 9 inches as the smallest. That would be if it was tiny in proportion to his 8-foot frame. 9 inches would be the smallest. And as we know, that's not an average size. So let's just say, ergo, the mountain has a big dick. Now, the good thing about having a big dick is like if the guy's lazy, he could just lay there and the girl could just like spit on top of it. A big dick is also an advantage because big dicks have a long reach and you don't have to remove clothes when you're in public or if you're in a rush. So these are all the advantages that the mountain has that Robert doesn't. So too bad, Robert.
Any rebuttal, Jeremy?
Yeah, only rebuttal is for all we know, the mountain is packing all of 2 inches. We have no clue.
I just deduced what we
it's
think.
It's a theory and a theory with no evidence is all I'm saying.
Listen, gigantism.
I would like to point out, was it Hopelo? I'd fuck young Robert over the mountain any day.
Yeah, I mean, which one would a woman rather be with, the mountain or Robert? I mean, I know Robert's no prize.
Jeremy,
I know.
That's not the question.
You're absolutely right.
and also they're in the comments, Lizzie, and also you, Nettles remembers. So that's got me a little scared. But I'm gonna have to give this one to Robert.
Wow, I was close. I tried, man. I tried. Leave me alone,
guys. This is a
guys.
tough one. This one
Jackie's
was really
like,
tough.
man, I know. I had to stretch my imagination.
So tough. A lot of these were tough with these 2 characters. This was a fun exercise getting these questions down.
Well, when I saw the questions the other day, I could not help but laugh.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Nettles did a really good job on these. All right, Jeremy, you won last. So question number 9. Who has the better team around them? And go.
Okay. When it comes to having the better team around them, I think Robert has this clearly won. I mean, he's got his best friend Ned Stark, who is also another capable battle commander. He's got Jon Arryn, who is also, refused the order from the Mad King to send Ned and Robert their heads, and completely took Robert's side, helping raise an entire rebellion to crush the Targaryen dynasty. They end up recruiting the River Run and the Tullys with Hoster Tully and all their forces, all of these allies that Robert ends up gathering up. And even towards the end of the rebellion, even Tywin Lannister knew that the Mad King's side was a losing cause, and he went to side with Robert. All of these people that Robert had around him. And then when he was king, he knew that he wasn't the best at counting coppers and all this stuff, as he calls it. So he delegated all of his responsibilities to a small council and those around him. And that all stuff screams that he had the perfect team around him.
And Nettles, same question. Who has the better team around them? And hold on one second. And go.
So it just seems like Jeremy was just listing people and allies and allies. It just seems like Robert's so weak, he needs great numbers around him. The mountain only needs like 2 forces like on his team. Himself, because he is almost an army. And Tywin, that is his team. Himself and Tywin. And that is enough for him to have survived longer than Robert. And as you know, that team somehow won the War of the 5 Kings. He was, Gregor going ahead was able to ruin the Riverlands, drawing the Tullys out, making Robb come down. I don't have to rehash the story, but just that team, if we're going to say it's a team, which that is Gregor's team, was able to last, like I said, longer than Robert, and win the War of the 5 Kings. So, sorry. That's nice. A good team. Small.
A rebuttal, Jeremy?
Yes. When it comes to the War of the 5 Kings, at that point, Robert is already dead and gone. So, to weigh something the Mountain did against when Robert was already gone. I mean, if Robert was around when the War of the 5 Kings took off, I imagine all of that would have played out a lot differently. And in terms of having Tywin on his side, Robert also has Tywin on his side too, and was a big deciding factor on him winning the entire throne. So you can kind of put Tywin on both sides, I guess.
Any rebuttal on that, Nettles?
I have just the slight rebuttal and just enunciating again that that Tywin being part of the Mountains team means that Tywin's child is who killed Robert. And the fact that you're saying it's not fair that Robert's dead and the Mountain had to live and do all these great deeds, and my argument is it's because Robert is a lesser man. The fact that he died so early already proves to you what his nettle is. So you can't say, "Oh, well, Robert didn't get to do these things." Well, that's part of the argument.
Yeah, being the lesser man doesn't have any the lesser team around him, though.
Wah, wah, wah.
All right. The team that Robert has around him is the reason he's losing this question. All of them were there to stab him in the back. Varys, Littlefinger. The only one that was there on his side when he was living was his baby brother. But I have not heard of anyone around the mountain stabbing him in the back. So I'm gonna, just for lack of information again, give this one to the mountain. Nettles, you won that one.
Thank you.
All right, I might get asked back. And Nettles, question 10: which man is the alpha in the room if they are in the same room? And go.
You guys already know the answer to this question. Don't play with me. The only reason the Mountain obeys Robert as king is because of that little piece of metal on his head, right? We know that if they were in the woods, no king, no nothing, no power dynamic, Robert is going to show his belly to the Mountain because Robert's not stupid, since you guys said he's more intelligent, right? So he will know, he'll feel the energy and he'll know that it's the Mountain. I could go into facts about how tall he is and how many battles he's been to and how many tourneys, but you guys know that too. So just picture the Mountain in your head and picture Robert in your head, and you tell me who the alpha is. It's the Mountain. Thank you.
Nice.
Okay. Same question to you, Jeremy. Which man is the alpha in the room if they are in the same room? And this time I actually hit the timer, so go.
All right. Well, in terms of Robert Baratheon, he shows his belly to no man. The Mountain could stand 15 foot tall, and Robert would meet him head on like he does everybody else. And in terms of the piece of metal that he wears on his head, that wasn't something that was given to him. It wasn't something that he inherited from a long line of succession. He earned that by right of blood and conquest and being one of the best fighters in the realm. So in terms of that alone, when I see Robert, yeah, I think Robert is going to be the most alpha in any room that he is in. Not to mention that also, yes, like Mel said about Mountain, Robert is also very big. He's, his size, his strength, his muscles and all that. I mean, he's described as a great horned god, for crying out loud. That is an alpha.
I have a quick rebuttal, really quick. You don't even need the timer, and it's quick because I was about to say it, and Jennifer Slattery typed it at the same time. She said,
I was getting ready to ask you the same question.
She said, Robert straight up yelled at the Mountain to stop fighting Sandor, and he did not in front of everybody. I was just going to say, just go back to that moment and just go off of vibes alone. Like, don't even listen to what they're saying, but the Mountain's body language and Robert's body language. Because he yelled, we know that Robert has that commander's voice, but he kind of looked like, well, are you going to stop? Am I going to have to do something about this? Like, it wasn't like a for sure thing. And it's because the Mountain is an alpha and he doesn't have to listen to Robert. He chooses to.
Well, Jackie C says the Mountain did stop, though.
Yeah.
His brother stopped. So it's like, okay, well, I mean.
And Robert did eventually let the Mountain go. He said, let him go. That was Robert's call.
No, the Mountain walked off and people looked like, wait. And then he said, let him go because he knows it's not worth it to try to stop the Mountain.
But he could have if he wanted to.
He said, first of all, and the Hound is the one that stopped, which forced the Mountain to stop because it's no fun to like fight someone who's not fighting back. When
That's all the Mountain does is fight people that don't fight
I mean,
back.
he does, but it's fun for him to fight the Hound because he's a worthy adversary, almost his equal.
But he could have kept going, but he did stop. He did eventually listen. Hound might have listened first, but
and then he went, ugh, and then he stomped off.
Exactly, stopping.
I mean, that's not very respectful to Robert the King, but Robert let him live.
You got anything to add to this, Nettles?
No.
Okay.
Tough
the stopping, the stopping, and even if he stopped off, he did stop when the king yelled out in the name of the king, stop. And that's the only thing that brought him down on this question. So I'm going to have to give it to Robert. I don't think he backs down to anybody when he's the king and drunk. So I give him Team Alpha all the way. So Jeremy, you got that one.
Awesome.
And Jeremy, question 11. Who does the realm need more? And go.
Okay. Now, when it comes to the realm needing both of these individuals more, the realm needs a king, and the realm needs a king that is going to rule right. Now, I know Robert wasn't the best king in the world, but he ruled for 17 years, and during those 17 years, they only had one minor rebellion that was wrapped up fairly quickly. Overall, his term was, for the most part, peaceful. And he delegated most of his responsibilities to those around him. And then, but also when it comes to someone like the Mountain, the realm certainly doesn't need anyone like the Mountain. Yeah, I mean, he's a mad attack dog at the end of the day. So if you are a lord that really needs to hurt some small folk, then yeah, I guess you might want the Mountain. But other than that, he's pretty much only good for a blunt instrument and to rape and pillage. And that is not something that Team Small Folk or the realm needs.
Okay. All right. Now the same question. Who does the realm need more? And go.
So you guys know the reason I love A Song of Ice and Fire is because I feel like it's so applicable to today. So I just want to ask you guys a question, like, who matters more to like your daily life? Like, who do you need more? Do you need, if you're in a hospital room, do you need the nurse more, the one who's giving you your insulin? Or do you need the president more? Like, who has like more of an effect on your daily life? And I'm saying that because Robert is a king. Do the small folk need a king? What the Mountain is a public servant, like the nurse, like the teachers and the judges and the people the people that do the books and the bureaucracy, the people that make this country run and make your day-to-day life run. Those are the people that I think that the realm needs. And that's exactly what the Mountain is. He's kind of like, a police force, like the army. And like when shit happens, that's who you need to protect you. The king is like the name only. We're talking about needs, not, who got the better job.
Oh man! You got a rebuttal
people
on that,
in the
Jeremy?
chat are saying the nurse, like they would need they need the nurse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd obviously need a nurse more than a president if you're in a hospital, I would imagine. Yes, but yeah, no. My only rebuttal is the Mountain is someone that the realm certainly doesn't need. He does a ton more harm than good. At least Robert isn't out there harming the realm. So in terms of who does the realm need more, certainly don't need the Mountain.
And I have a quick rebuttal to that, which is just to say that you're saying the realm doesn't need the Mountain because of what the evil deeds supposedly, allegedly, that he's done. But I'm saying you need to know, think of what the Mountain is, and the Mountain is a weapon. And so, yes, the realm does need a weapon. He just so happens to be used by Tywin and used for bad. But what if Ned Stark was his lord? He would be a great weapon. Right? But he's only a bad weapon because Tywin is using him to rape the Riverlands. So who does the realm need more? The weapon, the Mountain. Thank you.
Jackie C says the Mountain would burn the hospital.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fair, yeah, you probably would.
Is that all the rebuttals?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go with the king.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You lick spittle.
All
Why
right.
Why do I gotta be a lick
are
spittle?
telling you what to do? I need a smith. I
Mm.
need a baker. I need a soldier. Fine, I lost.
Need a king.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Jeremy. This is question 12. Oh, which man is a better best friend drinking buddy? And go.
Okay. Now, when it comes to friends and drinking buddies, there's probably not many people I would probably want to hang out with more than Robert Baratheon when I think about it. We all know what his appetites are. He's big, he's loud, he's boisterous, he's always the life of the party. He loves drinking, he loves having a good time. And that's just basically who he is. He's funny, he's witty, loves frequenting brothels. That is the party animal that you definitely want to hang out with. And when it comes to hanging out with the mountain, like again, I think I would be too afraid to look at him the wrong way and end up getting my neck snapped or something like that. I would not want to hang out with the mountain.
Didn't even need a whole minute for that one, did you?
Nope.
All right, Nettles, same question.
Hold on. There's a little bit of feedback. I just want to nip it in the bud. Do you hear it?
I don't hear it.
I don't know.
Okay. It's in my head. All right.
Okay. Question 12. Which man is the better best friend drinking buddy? And go.
All right. So I lived in Los Angeles, and I used to club and party in Los Angeles. And one of the most annoying things about going out is how long the lines would be. Sometimes you would like get dressed up, go buy a $200 outfit, pay $50 for a cab, and stand in line and never get into the club. And it's really annoying. It ruins your night, right? The mountain is somebody who would never be denied access. The mountain is like when he rolls in with his crew, people are gonna like give up their seats, give up their room at the inn, like roll out the red carpet for the mountain. So even though you don't have to be the mountain, you don't have to do the things that he does, but you can benefit from it. And that's what it would be like having a friend like the mountain. You would go to sleep every night, not having to look for the monsters under your bed because you know nobody will mess with you if the mountain is your friend.
You got a rebuttal on that, Jeremy?
Yes, quick rebuttal. On top of Robert obviously being a superior drinking buddy, just with his personality and everything alone, nobody is going to mess with you if you're with Robert Baratheon. Also, he is the king. Nobody's messing with the king. He's Robert Baratheon. So, yeah, that's my rebuttal.
And a quick rebuttal to that is you just use my rebuttal trying to say who's not going to mess with people, and people, and you can't do that because the mountain wins that one.
Well, this time I'm going to go with Carl Karsnark, Bobby B. The B is for bro.
That's right.
Yes, the king. Jeremy, you win again.
Y'all going to be waiting in line.
Waiting in line at the club with Bobby B. At least we'll be having a good time waiting in line.
I'm still worried about Nettles remembers. So, all right, Jeremy.
I that in the chat, and I just had to say it too because it was awesome.
Yeah, it was. It scared me. I'm not. Don't let the cowboy hat fool you. I was scared just a little bit.
I'm scared. I'm petrified. You kidding me?
Yeah, she's feisty. Question 13, Jeremy. Which man would you choose to fight beside you during the long night battle? And give me 1 second. Go.
Okay. Now, when it comes to the long night, the ultimate war, this is what everything is building towards. I would love to have Robert Baratheon by my side. I mean, he's like you said, we've seen what he can do in battle. He's proved his prowess time and time again with that Warhammer. And when that Warhammer is just the kind of weapon that I would want to see being swung against those whites. It would be taking them out by the score. And just to have his presence in the field of battle, he is a great leader. He inspires a ton of loyalty around everyone that's fighting behind him. And that loyalty is going to, ultimately carry us through the day and defeat the others.
Not even a whole minute. And Nettles, same question. Which man would you choose to fight beside you during the long night battle? And go.
So the magic word is stamina, 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 stamina. That's what you need when you're fighting in the long night. Like we saw on the show, fighting the dead is not about skill. It's not about necessarily being the best. It's just about being able to last because of how long that battle was. I mean, you're fighting bones, and sometimes they're women and children. Like they're not all going to be warriors, right? It's the
Yep.
numbers, it's the amount. It's like you stab
Mm.
one and you kill it. Great, you did good. You have to do it again. You have to do it again. You have to do it's stamina. And we see that Robert Baratheon, like his body was at peak physical condition when he was 18, but his body has the ability to deteriorate and for him to balloon to double his size and he's fat. He let himself go. The Mountain is the same age as Bobby B, and the Mountain has not let himself go. What that tells you is that the Mountain is a machine. He's a machine for war. So, do you want someone like Robert Baratheon, who has the ability to deteriorate, or do you want someone like the Mountain, who's going to be a machine that doesn't get tired killing these zombies? It's going to be the Mountain.
In rebuttal there, Jeremy.
Yeah, just quick rebuttal. When it comes to the stamina thing, if stamina is the most important thing, then Robert Baratheon has the Mountain beaten in spades. I mean, you could not swing a warhammer as heavy as that is around for an hour and still beat someone like Rhaegar Targaryen, whereas the Mountain was clearly worn out by someone like Oberyn in a one-on-one fight.
Anything you want to add, Nettles?
I said what I said.
And that's all you had to say. It's the Mountain all the way. Yay, Nettles, you win.
Oh,
Just for the simple fact that if I had to stand beside either one of them on the wall,
this is a tough one.
I want the big giant zombie.
It's the Mountain, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Nettles. Question 14.
Nice
which man would you prefer to fight? Oh, wait a minute. No, wrong question. Nettles,
No,
14.
Right. Oh, never mind. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Which man would better fit into 2022? And go.
Well, the Mountain is a walking meme, a walking TikTok. What are the kids like today? It's the TikTok, right? So everything that the Mountain does is like something that I could see people like thinking like it's ironic. The Mountain's the type of guy who'll like say something and be totally serious about it, but everyone's like, he's so hilarious. He's got to be kidding, right? Because it's so like, wait, what? And of course, he's a type of guy that would be in the gym, right? In 2022, he would be the guy lifting weights, showing you his gains. How many followers do those people have? Very successful. The Mountain wouldn't need to have a job, just live off of social media because he's a walking, talking TikTok meme.
Damn.
He's epic.
I like that.
I definitely think he would like align with our audience more, our modern audience.
Oh, didn't even need the full minute. I like where you went with that one with the TikTok and the
that was good.
Influencer. That was really good, really good. Same question, Jeremy. Which man would better fit into 2022? And go.
Okay, when it comes to fitting into 2022, someone like Robert Baratheon, his demeanor, his laughing demeanor, he likes to have fun, he likes to party, something like that would probably fit a little bit better in 2022. I would think. When I think about the Mountain in 2022, I just think of someone who is completely out of place. His demeanor, the way he carries himself, his temper, his violence, his rage, his raping and pillaging. That is not something that would be flying in 2022 these days. Whereas Robert, I think he would be able to fly under the radar, have some fun, go to a few clubs, shoot the shit with people, and of course, as we established, he is the best drinking buddy.
I have a quick rebuttal. Are you done? Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yep.
Just quickly, you said that some of the stuff that the Mountain does like isn't gonna fly with the people of today, like like the killing and stuff. But can you tell me what the numbers are on the Dahmer documentary? Because the people do like that stuff. Some of that stuff that you're saying that wouldn't fly with the people of today. So I just want to say that people love true crime documentaries, and they love serial killers. So That's all I'm saying. Writing them letters in jail.
You got anything to add on that, or is that going to be it there, Jeremy?
I think people like to watch crime. They don't like to see and be a part of crime, though. And the mountain is just too much for 2022.
Oh, you're making it tough. Westeros and Chill, Thor, Mountain Actor is all over social media and also merchandising.
When art imitates life, I told y'all. I told y'all the mountain was in 2022 on social media.
I'm not going to lie. I thought as soon as I read the question, I thought it was going to be Robert all the way. But your little twist with the social media, damn, that was really smart. I'm going to give you props for that, Nettles. You got that one.
Bobby B would have got canceled. You guys know it. But people would be too
Oh, they
scared
both
to
would have got
cancel the
canceled.
But they'd be too scared to cancel.
Too scared to cancel the mountain, yeah.
Okay, we are already at question 15. Nettles. Which man had the better death? And go. It's a good question. So that's a good question.
So the mountain is so spectacularly more superior than Robert. He got 2 deaths. Robert only got 1. Okay. So he got that first like shock jock gore death that made us go whoa and made us love Game of Thrones even more. Some would argue that was like, it doesn't matter who you are, man, woman, firefighter, like whatever you've seen, everyone was just like, they have that scene in their freaking brains. He also had a metaphorical death. Like there's like a theory about when a mountain dies, it's when like tectonic plates shift and usually separate. That's the only way to kill a mountain. And as you know, like the War of the 5 Kings is the areas on the map. It's like tectonic plates. And then he got a symbolic death with his brother, both fighting, never kind of winning and then falling into that fire, teaching us a lesson about life. So, nice. Good to look at and meaningful.
Very nice.
All right, Jeremy, same question. Which man had the better death? And go.
All right. Now, when it comes to the better death, Robert Baratheon, of course, we know he ends up getting gorged by a boar while he's on a hunting trip. But at the end of the day, he does end up killing the boar that killed him, and he wants everybody to taste the boar that killed him, which is just freaking epic when I think of it. So, yeah, when I think of epic deaths, I think Robert has that.
Damn, that was a nice twist on there.
Yeah, this one was tough.
Yeah.
A boar against a mountain. It's tough. These are good questions. Really good questions Nettles came up with.
I just want to rebuttal and just say that
yeah.
We're talking, these men are warriors and stuff, and the mountain got the warrior's death both times in Robert. A pig. Okay. What kind of warrior are you, Robert? That's all I got to say about that.
Well, I'm going with Carl again on this one. Carl Karsnack, the mountain had a more epic death for sure. Bobby B kind of went out like a punk. Yeah, Bobby B was on the bed.
Yeah.
And the mountain died. I'm assuming we're talking about the fight with the Red Viper. He died the way he lived by battle. So Nettles, you get that one too.
Fuck yeah. Before we go on, Emily Christina in the chat, she says, I can't remember. Is the mountain officially dead in the books, or is Qyburn experimenting on him?
A little ambiguous.
Well, no, it's not ambiguous. The poisons that Oberyn used have 100% kill rate.
That's right. He did die an agonizing death later on. So technically, he didn't die in battle.
He has to be. You'll be fine, Jeremy. Please, I'm answering Emily's question. I'll get back to you in a second. But so, because we know that this poison has 100% kill rate, like he had to have died. Yeah, now definitely. The second question is Qyburn experimenting on him. Fuck yeah! I think this is a testament to how good Qyburn is that he took something that has 100% kill rate and the mountain is still walking. So
and
what
created a stronger
what did
mountain
he do?
Afterwards.
Yeah, and stronger too. But
I got a question. You think whoever the three-eyed raven, three-eyed crow, blood raven, Bran, would skin change the zombie mountain?
Ooh.
Like Bran skin changes Hodor?
Hodor, yeah. I think that would be a formidable duo right there.
Okay. That's a pretty good question.
Mm.
All right, you ready for the next question?
Yes,
Hell
sir.
yeah.
All right. Nettles, question 16. Which would you rather fight?
Well, of course, I'm gonna fight the lesser man, and that's gonna be Robert. Like Robert's way easier to fight than the mountain because the mountain is so like much more like superior. Robert, if you just like show him like a bar, like you could win the fight because he'll be like, huh? Like he's so easily like distracted. What's going on? Like that. You don't have to use brute force to beat Robert. You could just like show him your boobs. You could just do anything and he'll be distracted. You can like give him like a sneak attack. Like there are just I could sit down and think of so many ways I could like fight Robert and like maneuver. But the mountain, that's someone that would be like, no, because he's so much more superior and he's definitely the better man. Like, there's no way that I would even think about fighting him. But the lesser man, Robert, yes, I would much rather fight him. Thank you.
All right.
Nice.
And Jeremy, same question. Which would you rather fight? And go.
Now, me personally, I would definitely rather fight someone like the Mountain, especially being Bobby B size or even my size, someone that I could wear out and tire out after a while, make him swing that sword a few times, and he is going to get tired. We've seen it happen before. Whereas, again, we said it earlier, Robert can swing that giant heavy warhammer for an hour and still win a fight. When I think about something like that, I mean, that's something I do not want to go anywhere near. And Robert's quite big himself. I know the Mountain is always known for his size, but a lot of people don't understand just how big Robert is, I think, because an actor like Mark Addy played him on the show who was really short, but Robert was tall. He was close to 7 feet tall himself, muscular, strong. Like 6.5 feet, I think. Yeah. And so for all those reasons, just knowing that I could tire the Mountain out after a little while, I would rather fight him than Robert.
And any rebuttal there, Nettles?
I just have a little zinger.
Okay.
Someone mentioned Rhaenyra in the chat, and I just want to say, yeah, I mean, 105-pound Rhaenyra was able to kill a boar. The boar that killed Robert. So it's like, listen, Robert's easy pickings.
I'm just going to go on the oh crap factor. If you were standing in front of Robert, or if you were standing in front of the Mountain, which one would you pretty much load your shorts on? I'm going with I would rather fight Robert, so Nettle wins the debate on that one.
You guys, if the Mountain actually wins this, people are going to cancel us.
Quit making such a good argument.
So. I don't think so.
This might be a going the other way. All right, Nettles, question 17. Which man would you rather be? And go.
So first of all, we saw that being the king isn't not what it's cracked up to be, right? We know even being the president is not what it's cracked up to be. There's been so many movies made about it. Being the king kills Robert. Being the king changes Robert, not for the good, for the better. Being king takes everything that was good about Robert and just siphons it. His personality shot, his ability to fight shot, his emotional intelligence and being good to his wife and people around him, it's gone, right? Because of being the king, this job that he doesn't want. Just like you people watching now, me, us in America who are working these jobs that we don't like. You know that feeling of that draining feeling of being in a job you don't like. It's a prison. Being king is being in a prison where you can't make decisions for yourself. You have to make decisions based on what other people want you to decide, right? It's a trick to think that the king is the one who decides. The Mountain doesn't have that.
And Jeremy, same question. Which man would you rather be? And go.
Now I think I would definitely rather be Robert for a few reasons. Obviously, I think where Robert's concerned, being king was all it was cracked up to be. We saw the kind of life he lived. It was a carefree life. He had fun every day. He had no cares in the world, and he got to live a pretty enjoyable life for the most part. But on top of that, the Mountain. I mean, he is someone with just crippling headaches constantly. That is not something I would want to live with personally. And when you talk about growing up and even growing up or even in adulthood, having someone that you can actually call a friend, not someone that just fears you. I don't think the Mountain has one person he can actually call a friend. Everyone just fears him. Whereas Robert, he has a genuine friendship with people like Jon Arryn, Ned Stark, someone that he can actually count on. And for those reasons, I would rather be Robert.
Rebuttal there, Nettles.
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to say that, like, as far as like medieval standards, the Mountain was as free as you could be because he did own his own manse, like, and he was the lord of his house, which means the only person he had to answer to would be Tywin, and Tywin only called him for like one tourney and like very few and far in between. For the most part, he was left to his own devices. He truly got to order his steps. He truly got to decide what he wanted to do that day. And there was no one else for him to think about. He got to be selfish and live life on his terms, something you guys know a king is not able to do. And that is true freedom. He's also born male and tall and good at battles. So like he lived this life of no fear. Like me being like a small woman, I have fears, like navigating through life. But being someone like the Mountain, I'm not scared of the dark. I'm not scared of who's going to come out of the bushes because I know I can handle
Okay. Let me understand the question. It's who would I want to physically be? Do I want to be Robert as king? Me being Robert as king? Or me being inside the Mountain's body as the Mountain? That's the question, right?
Well, yeah, but it's based on our argument. Like you can't just go off in your own imagination and be like,
no, I'm just trying to make sure I understand the question correctly.
Yeah. I think it's both. Robert as king, because you're gonna have their job, and yes, in their body, so you can do what they can do.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to give it to Robert on this one, Bobby B.
All right, have fun with Cersei.
Who was it in the chat said? Oh, and Cersei, no thanks. I forget who it was, but yeah, I'm gonna give that one to Jeremy.
Trash.
Well, I mean, he only got to be around her when he wants to be around her. And well, actually, you only have to be around her when you want to be around her. Okay, Jeremy, question 18. Which man is better at their job? Oh, this is a ringer. I'll go ahead and tell you and go.
Okay, I'll do my best effort here to try and make some kind of argument. But Robert, he was king for 17 years, and during those 17 years, it was relatively peaceful. One minor skirmish during the Greyjoy Rebellion that didn't even last a year. But even before that, before Robert became king, his job was to crush the Targaryen dynasty after Lyanna was kidnapped and Ned Stark's father and brother were unrightfully executed, and he did his job to perfection. He did what no one in history was ever able to do, and that was end the Targaryen dynasty, almost with his own prowess in battle, winning about 5 battles before Ned even came down from the north with his army to join the fight. So for the stuff like that, I think Robert is probably better at his job.
Almost dropped the phone on that one. All right. And Nettles, same question. Which man is better at their job? And go.
So I went on LinkedIn and I pulled up the Mountain's resume. And his job title is Eliminate the Enemy. That's what he does. He eliminates the enemy. And You can look in the book, you can watch in the show, and that's just what he does. His job is to eliminate the enemy, but he adds to that. There's icing on the cake. Not only does he eliminate the enemy, he's also loyal. Like, do you remember how he was serving Cersei in the show? She would just nod, and he would know when to pull out that sword. So you're getting a bang for your buck when you hire this guy for this job, okay? Because not only is he 100% going to eliminate the enemy, he's going to do it with a smile. He's going to do it with gravitas and poise, okay? This is the man that you want standing as a knight behind your shoulder when you're on that throne. I don't care who you are. So five stars, I would recommend.
Any rebuttal there, Jeremy?
No rebuttal. This was a tough one for me.
Yeah. Anything you want to add, Nettles?
No, that's it.
Okay, you said what you said. I got to give it to Nettles on this one. Robert was a crap king, and the mountain was like a Wolverine. The best there is at what he does, but what he does is not very nice. So
good way of putting it. Very good way of putting it.
Yep. So all the way to question 19, Nettles, which man has the better story? And go.
Okay, so the mountain lived a life worth writing about. Unfortunately, some of us live these mediocre lives. We're born, we work, we die, you know? But he is well-traveled. This guy has gone from tourney to tourney. This guy's in King's Landing. He's in the Westerlands. He's in the Riverlands. The mountain, he's seen, he's seen what needs to be seen. He got to hold his own keep. He got to, like I was saying before, he got that experience of being king in your own castle, of like looking up and there being no glass ceiling above you, how high you could rise. He's risen from Clegane bitch to like arguably the most feared man in the realm, okay? And then he's felt like the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows of the human experience. What I mean by that is like he's felt big emotions like ecstasy in battle, like that feeling of knowing you've won, crowds cheering your name, pain from poison. He's felt like from good to bad, the like expanse, the extent of human capacity to feel emotion. And that's the type of stuff worth writing about. It's not whether it's like good or bad, he's just lived a full life. And so he has the better story. I know I went over. I'm the worst. I know.
No.
I'm a tyrant.
That was nice. Good job.
And Jeremy, same question. Which man has the better story? And go.
Okay. Now, I think when it comes to the better story, I think Robert has this one well over the mountain. I mean, just take a look at his actual story. Parents dying at such a young age, being forced to become the Lord of Storms, and far before he thought he was ready to do it, having to mature at a very young age. And then later on, when it comes to Robert's rebellion, absolutely destroying the Targaryen dynasty, something no one in history was able to do. This is something that is going to be remembered for the rest of time. History is always going to remember what Robert Baratheon did, winning 3 battles in a single day. This is the stuff that kings are made of. When I look back on the history books of Westeros, Robert is going to be remembered. Someone like the Mountain, he's not going to be remembered 10 years later.
Yeah, no rebuttal. That was good, Jeremy.
Yeah, that was really good. No rebuttal. I gotta go with Jeremy on
this. King in the Storm.
Yeah, Jeremy did a really good job on that one. So Jeremy, you win that one. And last question, last stand. Jeremy, which man would make the better king? And go.
Okay. Now we've seen what Robert can do. He's winning the throne. I know winning the throne and sitting the throne are 2 very different things. And I know a lot of people like to consider Robert a shit king, and I know he was in a lot of ways. But you look at the 17 years of rule, relatively peaceful, not many uprisings. That one Greyjoy rebellion, But someone like the Mountain, I think about the Mountain sitting on the Iron Throne, and it scares the ever living crap out of me. I think I thought if Maegor the Cruel was bad, imagine someone like Gregor Clegane sitting on the Iron Throne, having to answer to absolutely no one. Half of the realm would be destroyed in under a year, would be my guess. So for those reasons, I think Robert would make a little bit better of a king than Gregor.
All right. And Nettles, same question. Which man would make the better king? And go.
Okay, so whether it's tourneys, the battlefield, hands, or swords, he's got experience. This man is a man that you can trust fighting in front of you and besides you. Like, who is more fearsome than Gregor? So let's talk about medieval times. And like, you know, as the human race, we started off as farmers, right? And at some point we got into like these feudal kingdoms. Why? Well, what happened is like you'd be a farmer, like minding your own business, and somebody would come and like steal your crops or kill you or rape your daughters, and you couldn't do anything to stop it. But then there'd be like these guys, a guy like the Mountain who would be like, I'll protect you, and he kills the people bothering you, or the army bothering you, right? And then this little town bands together, and the guy like Mountain, the prototype, says, I'll protect all of you, just build me a castle and pay me some taxes. And then as long as that man is able to defend his area, he is king. And that's exactly what the Mountain is able to do. So just by medieval definition of what a king is and that social contract they have between the serfs and the king, the Mountain embodies that.
Any rebuttal there, Jeremy?
Yeah, only rebuttal would be when it comes to protecting people and keeping them from being raped and pillaged and stuff like that. The Mountain is the very type of person that people need to be protected from. So for that reason, I think Bobby B would be the better protector.
Anything you want to add, Nettles?
My rebuttal to that is just, another fact you can say that makes a good king is survival. We've seen that Robert isn't great at surviving. The pig took him out. But a great king is a king who can survive. And in this world, this medieval world that I'm talking about, not the fancy full tra-la-la cotton candy world that Jeremy's talking about. In this world, it's eat or be eaten. And the Mountain understands that. The entire world has rewarded his behavior and his type of psychology. That means the way he is works in this rough world. And like you can't expect him to change. Like the world rewards his behavior, like I said, and Pavlov proved this. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. He I was going off a different path, but I realized I didn't have that much time. I couldn't go into
They're tough. These are tough.
like
ones.
action and reward. Like
Yeah. Awesome.
Man, you
can
ask the chat for help if you need help, dude.
Yeah. Carl or Lizzie, anybody out there? Could you kind of sound off on this one? It's the last question. I don't want to get it wrong. I don't know what the count is up to now, but
who would you rather see on the throne?
Yeah,
who would you rather see on the
throne? Which man would make the better king?
That's the same thing.
Because we've kind of like spent 19 questions talking about
Matt Bruce's Bobby B.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Everything that man embodies. Now, everything we've talked about, guys, all those traits and characteristics we named.
I get it. Bobby B, Mountain
You guys
Baby.
are rude. You guys are really rude.
Yeah.
My arguments were sound. Sean Berkeley is the only one with brain cells. Sean Berkeley is the only one with brain cells in this whole chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bobby B on this one. Sorry, Nettles.
Rude.
I know. I'm sorry. Well, there was somebody had said earlier that you bribed me, so I wanted to make sure that proves you didn't.
Matt Bruce said they would run out of milk of the poppy. That's hilarious.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Who would Mountain? Ooh, that's a good question. Who would the Mountain have as a hand?
Ooh.
Yeah. Who would he choose?
The tickler.
The biter. The tickler, yeah.
Oliver.
You know, he would put the Hound. I think he loves the Hound. If
Think
only
he'd pick his brother, maybe?
he could pick the
Who would be his
Hound.
Kingsguard? Who would be the Mountain's Kingsguard, too? Like, man, you know, who would he pick?
Or would he even need him?
Right? Yeah, does he even need one? Yeah.
This is fun, guys. I hope you guys don't think that I actually like the Mountain because
Oh,
Carl
No, absolutely not.
actually
You
like the Mountain.
you killed it. You killed it.
Don't you guys know how to debate? It's not about whether you like it. It's just about
Yeah, you just got to
loser.
argue the point as best you can, I guess.
Yeah.
This was fun. This was a lot of
The
fun.
Mountain is woo. Like
Yeah.
if there's one person that you could instantly kill, I would just kill him because he's just
Do you want to hear the result?
420 pounds. What the hell?
A freak of a man, yeah.
His armor is so heavy. 2 squires have to carry it.
Right?
What the hell? 6 foot long sword. What the hell?
Oh, powerful man. Yeah, you want to hear something funny?
Yes, sir.
Y'all both got 10.
Oh, what?
And yeah, and, hand to the Bible, hand to the
Wow.
sky, whatever you want. It was
Now
not
we're gonna-
planned that way.
Okay, should we just leave it a tie so we don't get canceled, or should we go for a tiebreaker?
Ooh.
Ooh.
It's up to you. Whatever you gonna do.
Thank you, Jackie.
Was he looking? Okay.
So what
I
do you
say
think?
leave it a tie.
The Mountain and
Sounds good
Bobby
to me.
B are officially tied. Yeah,
Awesome.
that's giving a lot of credit to that little man, Bobby B. He's only 6'8". He's only 6'8".
Nettle doesn't like the mountain. She loves him.
Thank you, Charles. See, girthy
Carl
and
is
get
the
a room.
best,
I hate
no
you.
Oh,
You
Carl
were in
wants a-
7 hell.
Carl wants a tiebreaker.
Sean says sudden death. Tiebreaker death match.
Yeah.
I think we should leave it a tie. I'm not trying to get canceled if the Mountain wins. Okay. Can we think of a worthy question to break it?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Audience trial by verbal combat.
Ooh.
Listen, I think I got better weapons than you. Oh, Old New Dude. When you were introducing yourselves, you forgot to tell everybody that you have 100 million swords.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're yeah.
People, if
Maybe
you-
not that many. I have.
I'm actually just ordered the Long Claw replica, and I'm gonna get the Blackfire one too. Yeah, there it is. Nice. So badass, right?
Yeah, Christmas is coming. I don't know if I'm gonna have a sword in the tree. I got my fingers crossed, but I
That's
got
right,
about.
that it comes with the nice watch vow. I didn't
Yeah.
expect that.
Oh, that's awesome. It's written
Oh, yeah.
on the shield.
yeah.
Oh, cool. Really cool.
It comes with it, and then I have the Arya dagger right here,
Oh, wow. Awesome.
and then a lemon tree for Sansa.
Nice. Very
But
nice.
this one's in
And you
a-
got the new, and you got the new greaves with the blade on it that you were showing us earlier, which is awesome.
Jennifer, I think that's an unfair
combat,
question.
we're ready. Oh,
Yeah.
get the Arya dagger. This one's worth it. I don't want to tip this over. It's a little bit heavy. It comes with a. This is a map of Westeros.
Oh, really? Wow. That's
flat
awesome.
is a map of Westeros. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's it's worth. These things are not cheap, but it's
No,
so
no.
worth it to get it.
It
It's,
is. It really is. It's
yeah.
it's the series is worth it. All the joy that George has brought us over the years.
Yeah, my husband got them for me because he loves me very much. But
Awesome. Awesome.
Jennifer says Nettles has the biggest smiles with her sword.
Yeah, definitely.
these, I don't know why it brings me so much joy, but I'm ready for trial by combat. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh
We
yeah,
got a
you're ready.
question.
You're geared up. You're ready to go. Yeah.
Who did
I want you
Cersei
fighting
like
me
better,
on the long
Mountain
night.
or Robert? That's a good
Oh,
question, Jennifer.
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
What is the airspeed velocity of a Westerosi swallow? Carl, what's going on? I like Sean Berkeley's question. Who has a bigger reach?
Oof.
The night is dark and full of nettles.
Crazy Mad said, Nettles, would you marry the Mountain? Absolutely not. I mean, I could marry him, but I would poison him in his sleep or something.
Poison him. Yeah. There you go.
He would come up missing. If it's me against him, no, you're going to die by poison. I'm not.
Is
playing.
this before
You'd be
or
the
after
one
you
wife that
find
takes
the
him
mountain?
out.
Wait, what was
Nettles?
that?
Is it before or after you climb the mountain do you poison him?
Oof.
Listen. Listen, I said what I said. Nettles for president. Listen, I'm ready to be president. I got some good ideas.
Nettles 2024. I'm behind it. I'm
There
behind
you
it.
go. I don't see any tiebreaker questions in there.
I mean, we got Jackie C. Who would be better, Night's King?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Hmm.
That's a pretty good question.
You guys already know. I mean, the Mountain might be the
Mountain's
Night King.
already practically a Night's King. Yeah, he's already undead.
He's already undead.
Who would be the dominatrix? Nettles or the Mountain?
Who would be better in Love Is Blind, Bobby B or the Mountain? Did you guys watch Love Is Blind?
I don't know.
No.
It's a dating show where so like the boys was like boys in the house, girls in the house, and you date through a wall, so you can't see each other.
Oh, you can't see each other. You can only
like
hear.
You go on dates and you're just in these enclosed rooms. So like, but the dates are like 6, 7, 8, 12 hours long. It's just like high school when you'd fall asleep on the phone.
Yeah.
So you date for like a week, and then you have to find someone that you mesh with, and you propose. And when you propose, that's when you get to see them.
Then you can finally see him. Okay.
So Bobby B or the Mountain. Basically, who would get a date based on personality?
Right? Yeah. Jeez, tough one.
Listen, if you can't see the Mountain, you're not scared of him. What if he's like a poet?
I know. Imagine he's like, yeah, like looks are
like
deceiving. Look what Podrick ended up being. You know, looks can be deceiving.
How much talking do we see the Mountain do?
That's the thing. How wide is his vocabulary?
Well, what you don't know, you just can't count against him.
We just don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing it through point of view characters, so it's like the people who are around the mountain, and it's like Sansa isn't getting a good idea of mountain conversation. Even Tyrion isn't.
Westeros and Chill has the perfect question. Who would you rather date your mom?
Ooh. Man. I mean,
Westeros, that is not a good question. Be quiet, Westeros and Chill.
I would be afraid that the Mountain would kill my mother, so I'd go with Bobby.
Arsnark says define date.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thistle said it first. Ratchet. Thistle's ratchet. I think we'll leave it a tie. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I haven't seen any good questions in the comments, so I say a tie is a tie.
Yeah.
It's not a loss, but it's not. It's like kissing your cousin.
It's a big compliment to Robert that he's equal to the Mountain. And it's a good compliment to the Mountain that his deeds are not that evil that we can overlook.
It's a good compliment to Jeremy and Nettles, who did a really good job.
Huge compliment to Nettles. This was awesome and a lot of fun. And to you, too. You absolutely killed it as a moderator and Grand Maester.
Archmaester.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
This was
I think we have a question. We're still going to leave it a tie, but I think we should answer it.
I think you're seeing it, Matt Spruce.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good one. Who would be the better dragon rider? Whew.
Was that the question y'all want?
Yeah. It's just it's just for fun. And I want you to answer too, dude.
Oh, okay.
You answer first.
Yeah, you go first. Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, who do you think? Bobby B or Mountain? Who's going to be the better dragon rider?
Is this young Bobby B or old Bobby B?
Dealer's
It doesn't
choice.
matter. You age with your dragon.
Nice. Nice.
Damn. I would go with young Bobby B.
What dragon would you give him?
Ooh. I don't know all the dragons in the Fire and Blood and the Dance of Dragons. So I would have to give him
I do. If you describe them, I can tell you. Or if you tell me what you want. What do you want the menu? Do you want big and scary? Do you want fast? Do you want red? Do you want gold? What you
want
got?
beautiful? What kind of dragon you want? Yeah.
Yeah, I would go
I think
gold.
I know who I would go with. Yeah.
Gold Dragon.
Gold
Sunfire,
Dragon?
the golden?
Sunfire?
He's brutal. He is the most, one of the most vicious dragons.
He's
Sunfire,
vicious for his size and his age.
he never
He's
stops.
very formidable. Yeah.
He
Very
never stops. That's one thing.
Yeah.
I could give
That's a perfect dragon for young Bobby.
It is. It is. Especially during the rebellion. Man, imagine Bobby B on Sunfire during the rebellion. Unstoppable. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Bobby B.
And Jackie C says gold and black dragon like their colors. So it's great that you put Sunfire, the golden, because
yeah,
the Baratheon house colors. So that's
the colors.
There you
Yeah, yeah.
That was the only reason I picked it.
Nice.
Jeremy, what do you say?
For me, I think it would be close between Vermithor and Caraxes. I just think the ferociousness of Bobby B, you know, the boisterous of him, I think that would lend himself very well to a dragon like Caraxes or Vermithor.
For me, I definitely think, you know, since y'all said Bobby, even though it's for fun, I'll just play devil's advocate and put the mountain on Balerion the Black Dread.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
My world would burn. It would be a bad idea.
What about Cannibal?
You're putting nuclear and nuclear options together.
We're done. We're done.
Yeah, I agree with Matt Spruce. Cannibal for the mountain.
Oh, Cannibal, yeah. Wild, yeah.
Nice
No one's ever been able to claim Cannibal. Maybe Mountain would be the first guy to actually claim Cannibal and ride him.
Walk up to Cannibal and just punch him in the face, and then boom.
Takes a sword, just slices off his tail.
Yeah. And feed it to him.
Yeah, but I agree with Carl Karsnark at the end of the day. Cannabis is my favorite dragon too. Puff the Magic
His
Dragon.
nickname is Puff.
Yeah.
Just be careful, he smokes himself.
Yeah. Sometimes he's a little lazy. He doesn't always want to fly.
Yeah.
Imagine the cannabis dragon, like he blows smoke on the whole town and the whole town gets high.
Just gets baked, yeah.
You can just imagine seeing him just walking around squinty-eyed.
Yeah.
So Sean Berkeley says Old New Dude is killing the judging game. There you go.
Absolutely. Yeah. Awesome job.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
I've got stuff to do. Do you got? We got to end this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's been awesome, you guys. Thank you so much for everybody in the chat. You guys make this live stream fun, and you guys are smarter than us, I think.
Definitely. Definitely.
They're definitely smarter than me.
So definitely I have to smarter than you guys on these debates. I have to see people are saying in the chat. You guys gave me some points and stuff.
Chat helped a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy and Dude, for being here and y'all using y'all's testosterone, martial arts, and military knowledge to actually give us like an educated and insightful discussion today. So yeah, Jeremy.
Thank you. This was incredibly fun. I've never done a debate style like this before, but I've seen you and Westeros and Chill do them, and you guys always have a blast. And I am so honored that you choose to include me on one. This was so fun. It blew my expectations away. This was great. And of course, big shout out to the chat. You guys have been awesome tonight. Gave me some great pointers. And I just appreciate the opportunity. Come and hang out with me on Sunday nights. I'll be going live every Sunday, hanging out, talking some Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah, the links of both of these guys are going to be in the description. Dude?
Thanks again, Nettles, for inviting me to do this. Like I told you, anytime I can talk a Song of Ice and Fire, it makes my day. I love this. This was a blast. I don't want to be the one debating on any of these things. Being the judge, even though Nettles remembers, being the judge is a whole lot better than having to come up with why you think somebody you don't like should win. So, but I had a blast. Thanks for the chats. Thanks again to you, Nettles. I appreciate everything you do. And you're a joy, without a doubt.
Same. I second that.
Jeremy, it is nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too, man. I had a lot of fun. Like I said, I subbed to your channel, and I'll definitely be checking your stuff out for sure.
Yeah, same here.
Thanks.
Woo! Bye! Yay!
Bye.
Go,
Later.
Bye.
Destroy that button.